Yankees are back to 500. It took some time and still a lot of work to be done. They dug themselves out of that hole. In this Detroit series, they did what they had to do. Anything less than a sweep would have been unacceptable. Winning 2 out of 3 would not have been good enough. But they get the sweep and really get some very good pitching performances. Again, keep in mind of the opponent, but also acknowledge, the fact that I think we're seeing some encouraging signs. Yankees were coming off, a tough series against Baltimore where they split the 4-game series. I think left some people with a little bit of a sour taste in their mouths, but that would quickly change immediately in the series as Gerrit Cole just continues to pitch at a Cy Young level. And he's got some competition early, but wow, he has been unreal. It is something else. He ends up going 6 innings, and that was really, he was only at 87 pitches. It was more of the score as to why he only went 6, which is smart. Only gives up 4 hits, no runs, no walks, and 12 strikeouts. It's that walk-to-strikeout ratio that has been unbelievably good. The control's been excellent. A lot of swings and misses. Only good things to say about Gerrit Cole. And the bats were alive in this game. Out of the 3 games, this is definitely the one where they were most alive. And what I'm noticing a little bit is that this team, and it kind of makes sense as they're so right-handed heavy, it does a little bit better against lefties. And that would be the case against Tarik Skubal, who's a young pitcher who has had some ups and downs this year, but he is one of the top pitching prospects in baseball. But the Yankees would get it started early thanks to an RBI single by Gio Urshela. And Giancarlo Stanton would get a double to get it started. I just want to say Giancarlo Stanton, who has, I want to say after the series, about an 8-game hitting streak. It's either 8 or 9. But he's really coming alive now and just stinging the ball all over the field. So hope that can, again, hope he stays healthy and hope that he can keep that up. But yeah, Stanton gets it going, and then Gio Urshela, who has been one of the most consistent players this year, gets an RBI single. Then Clint Frazier hits a solo shot in the second to give the Yanks a 2-0 lead. Now we're seeing Frazier, with his second home run now, and it seems like he's coming out of his funk slowly. And then in the third, the Aaron Judge show begins. Judge with just a monstrous home run. And that's the thing with him. He's getting these days off, and then he comes back, and it's like he was never hurt. So maybe the way they're managing this is the way to go. It's possible. You're just waiting for him to go on the IL, but it hasn't happened. And he came back looking fresh, and he hits a solo shot. And then Aaron Hicks, as a righty, hits a home run to make it 4-0. And with Hicks, again, much better as a right-handed hitter than a left-handed hitter. There's really nothing that can be done about this, unfortunately, because your alternative, let's say you wanted to just go with Hicks against lefties. Brett Gardner just has not simply been good enough to give Gardner the lion's share of at-bats. So the center field position, to me, is a continuous issue. Hicks hits his 4th home run in this case and makes it 4-0. Then the next inning, Aaron Judge, opposite field grand slam. So, yeah, Judge, explodes for 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Aaron Hicks adds an RBI double, this time as a lefty, a little bloop shot, opposite field. And then Rougned Odor, for good measure, he adds a home run to make it 10-0 Yankees. That would be the final score. Luis Cessa pitches a scoreless 7th. Wandy Peralta, in his Yankee debut, the Yankees acquired him from San Francisco in the Mike Tauchman trade. He gets a scoreless inning in the 8th, and then Lucas Licky strikes out the side in the 9th. So Yankee pitching gets 18 strikeouts. Pretty unbelievable, and a very dominating performance by the Yankees, and something that they had to do. The second game would see Giancarlo Stanton on the bench, as well as Gio Urshela. So we're continuing to see the Yanks sitting guys out. I don't love that idea too much, but I guess against Detroit, it's something that you can get away with. And this one would be between Spencer Turnbull and Jameson Taillon. And the Yankees would again jump out to the early lead. And when I think about it, the Yankees never trailed all series. So in the third, Gleyber Torres would get an RBI single. So Torres in this one would come through with a couple of big hits. There was another spot that he didn't come through in, but again, he was one of the key cogs in this game. So, yeah, with first and second and 2 outs, Torres gets an opposite field RBI single to give the Yankees 1-0 lead. Then in the fourth, unfortunately, Jameson Taillon, totally cruising, gives up a solo shot to Candelario. So the Tigers tied up at 1 at that point. Taillon had been pitching really well, got into some trouble in the fifth, but then gets a key strikeout of Miguel Cabrera. And that would end his day. It's a good line. 5 innings, 3 hits, that home run, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. So with Taillon, length has been a bit of an issue. He goes, 79 pitches. He was definitely running out of gas, but, all in all, good outing. And to make things better, he actually would get his first win in 2 years. As in the fifth, DJ LeMahieu singles, pleasantly surprising as he gets a steal. We don't see that much from him or the Yankees. And then he advances to third on a throwing error by the catcher. And then Aaron Judge, another day of good baseball from Aaron Judge as he gets an RBI double. And that would make it 2-1. Rougned Odor would ground out to get Judge over to third. And then, unfortunately, Gleyber Torres gets a soft ground out, and then Mike Ford grounds out. So it stays at 2-1. Then in the sixth, Jonathan Loaisiga pitches a scoreless inning. Got into a little bit of trouble, but gets out of it. And then in the bottom of the sixth, Aaron Hicks hit by pitch. Gary Sanchez walk. Clint Frazier walk. So Turnbull hits Hicks, walks Sanchez. 2 things you definitely don't want to do, especially to start an inning. Turnbull's taken out. Frazier walks. Then Brett Gardner pops out. Not good, but bases loaded, no outs. DJ LeMahieu strikes out. Not good. And again, with LeMahieu, I'm continuing to see in spots where the last 2 years he would absolutely kill it, not exactly coming through in those situations. But Aaron Judge to the rescue. Judge, who had the big night the night before, had that RBI double to give him the lead the inning before, gets a big 2-run single. Some stuff that we're not seeing enough. Judge does a good job here with a really big 2-out, 2-run single to give the Yanks a 4-1 lead. Rougned Odor would then walk, and then Gleyber Torres gets a big 2-run single. So all the damage in this game, RBI-wise, were done by Torres with 3 RBIs and Judge with 3 RBIs, and that would give the Yankees a 6-1 lead. So that's what you're looking for, is in games like this, is just different games, different contributors. And this one, it happens to be Judge and Torres. So in the seventh, Justin Wilson comes in, and the problem with Justin Wilson is that he just has a tendency to walk guys. And Jacoby Jones and Robbie Grossman, first 2 batters, walk. He does get Willie Castro to strike out, and then Miguel Cabrera grounds out, and the runners move over to second and third. But unfortunately, Jonathan Scope gets a bloop 2-run single. And again, those walks are to come back to bite you. They do, and that makes it 6-3. He then gives up a single to Candelario, so the tying run is up. So Chad Green comes in, and he strikes out Baddoo. Big at-bat, and he gets the strikeout, so it's 6-3. Green stays in for the 8th and gives up a leadoff home run to Nico Goodrum, so it's 6-4, and then he proceeds to get the next 3 outs. So it's a 6-4 game. We go to the top of the 9th, and it's Aroldis Chapman time, a.k.a. game over. I mean, this year, unbelievable. He gets the 1-2-3 inning, including 2 strikeouts, and the Yankees win the game 6-4. So this would prove to be a close game, but they get it done. Couple of big hits along the way. Good outing by Taillon. Bullpen with some mixed results, but, a win is a win. Now the final game. Wow. In this one, Corey Kluber. Corey Kluber with his best outing as a Yankee after, he had a good outing last time. And with Kyle Higashioka behind the plate, that seems to be a great connection. It really does. So already you have Cole with Higashioka. I see no reason to change it with Kluber. And not for nothing, Higashioka and Herman seem to have good chemistry in Herman's last outing. So in this one, it's Jose Urena versus Corey Kluber, and what a pitcher's duel it was. In the second is when all the scoring happens. It's just 2 runs. It's Gio Urshela getting a very lucky single down the third baseline. It just stayed fair and hit the bag. And so that, gets Gio over to first. Aaron Hicks walks. And that's just, again, to me, that's as good as you're going to get out of Aaron Hicks. He does get a walk. Mike Ford hits a nice line drive to center field, and that gets Urshela over to third. So it's first and third, 1 out, and the big hit of the game none other than Kyle Higashioka. An RBI double down the line gives the Yanks a 1-0 lead. Higashioka just has been so much better than Gary Sanchez. There's just no other way to say it. Like, Higashioka is the starter and should be playing at least 3 out of 5 games. And I honestly wouldn't mind if it was 4 out of 5, but it's great to see that Higgy is finally getting the credit that he deserves. And with Sanchez struggling, this is a no-brainer, and I'm happy to see it. Then Brett Gardner gets a sacrifice fly. It was hit well. It looked like I had a chance to go out, but a really nice catch by Robbie Grossman. That makes it 2-0. And that was all that Corey Kluber would need. And the Yankee offense really went down. They didn't do anything. I believe that between Urania and Gregory Soto, who came in the 8th, think that they were retired 19 straight. So for that Yankee offense, I'm still like not in love, I guess, with the lineup. I still think that there's a lot of work to be done. You know, I'm not going to complain with wins, but I know that this lineup is going to need to improve. It was a rough April. Hopefully May will, bring along better results. But Corey Kluber, that's the story here. His final line, 8 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts. And it's just nice to see that he's capable of that type of outing. Because, look, I called him toast just a few weeks ago. And maybe I jumped the gun there. It's also against Detroit. But just knowing that he's capable of putting out this type of dominant outing. And he also got tons of whiffs. I mean, that changeup looked great. Detroit was totally off balance. And so we hope to see this continue from Kluber and maybe settle in as the number 2 in this rotation. Then, in the 9th, Aroldis Chapman. Another scoreless inning. No hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts. I believe he's up to 10 innings pitched, no runs, 3 walks, and 24 strikeouts this year. Just crazy stuff from him. He has been out of this world good. And so the Yankees get the sweep. Draw to 14-14. And now, continuing on this 9-game homestand, the middle series against the Houston Astros. And this is the first series against Houston since all of the allegations went down. This is the first time they've played since the 2019 ALCS. And some interesting pitching matchups. You have Zach Greinke versus Domingo Germán. That being the second most interesting one. The least interesting one is the middle game, and that's Luis Garcia versus Jordan Montgomery. And then a really good one is Lance McCullers against Garrett Cole, the former Astro. That's going to be a great one. I can't wait. And McCullers, he was kind of outspoken. He was really a part of that 2017 team. So expect to hear a lot of booing from the Yankees crowd. I would expect to hear some witty chants. And this is something that the fans have been ready for a really long time now. Last season got totally wiped out. It's too bad it's not going to be a full stadium, but, I would expect it to be loud and a pretty fun series. I think this is one of the more anticipated ones of the entire season, and it's good to see the Yankees going in with that winning feel. So as far as hopes for this series, winning 2 out of 3 would be just fine by me. Absolutely. Expecting a sweep against a really solid Astro team just would be, not reasonable. So the hope is that they can get 2 out of 3. And realistically, you can split those first 2 with Cole on tap for the last game. That's kind of the recipe for success. So we'll see what happens. Looking forward to it. And I'll talk to you after the Astro series.